cage for hours. Please. Kiss me.
And greetings and salutations. This is Cage's Kiss, the ultimate Nick Cage podcast, where each week we discuss one of Nick Cage's fun films that week, and we discuss his life and times while trying to glean any wisdom we can from his character that week. And I don't think there's anything we actually can glean from this, except it was a thing that happened, and I guess we'll find out what happens when you combine Predator with Mortal Kombat and toss in an angry Harambe for your alien. I'm Donnie, a apparent master of Jiu Jitsu. Well, you can't dispute this.
Lord. I'm a warrior poet in the classic sense, or Adrian.
My name is Linda, also known as The Cheese, but this week I'm one of Oprah's favorite things.
Wow. And we have a very special guest with us this episode, our own expert of the karate form, to help us understand this movie. Please introduce yourself, sir.
We need one.
Right on. Yes, I am writer and director. I should say I am micro budget indie writer, director, fight choreographer, Len Kabasinski. So for those that don't know me, you probably maybe have seen me on stuff like Red Letter Media and Best of the Worst, or maybe you've seen Swamp Zombies, or maybe you've seen Curse of the Wolf or Fist of the Vampire or one of those things. But you know what? Those are really fucking old movies of mine. So please check out my new stuff, people. Check out Challenge of Five Gauntlets with me and Leo Fong and stuff. But anyways,
It's so good.
yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a expert in Jiu Jitsu, if you will, but I've been around some martial arts. I have a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo, which is a Korean martial art. Mine is a more traditional type-based Taekwondo, so it's not like the stuff you would see in the Olympics and things like that. But I've been around a martial art or two in my lifetime, and Jiu Jitsu. Let's go for it.
I mean, honestly, it's most of my experience in karate has been as a child and growing up watching nothing but Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, American Ninja movies. And I've got to say, this movie seemed to have a lot more Muay Thai kickboxing than anything else.
Well, that kind of makes sense because I'm going to get everybody's name wrong because I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff, but we have our lead man and Elaine Musasi or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
He came over from the Kickboxer franchise, which is produced by, this movie, Jiu Jitsu, is produced by the same people. So it was not a shock when they announced, hey, we got Elaine Musasi in our cast. And I'm like, well, you work with them all the time. How hard was that to get that done? But was it really a reach to go
on the same couch?
Right. They reached out to Elaine and got him involved. And I'm like, well, all you do is fucking work with him. How hard was it to get Elaine Musasi in the movie? So, but yeah, he's a kickboxer. He comes over from the Kickboxer franchise, and I think Van Damme, you mentioned, Van Damme was probably busy because I could totally see him in place of the Cage character in this one. But Van Damme probably had better things to do.
Yeah.
And who are you going to call? Nick, what are you doing on your lunch break today? Do you want to do like some jiu-jitsu, man? And there it is. So, okay, I'm off on a tangent. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, I am familiar with the art of the sword. Well, we meant jujitsu. It's like, yes, I have a sword. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He took some mushrooms and watched some Power Rangers. That was Cage's background on
and I
this
think
one.
it was
Yes.
No, he actually has he supposedly has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
really.
Yeah, that's something completely different. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is more almost like submission wrestling. When people think of the UFC or Ultimate Fighting, that kind of stuff, cage fighting, that's kind of what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that kind of submission, martial art wrestling kind of stuff. Not that I'm an expert in it, but I know what it looks like. And traditional jiu-jitsu from Japan, not the same thing.
I can guarantee you're going to have more of an idea about this stuff than we will.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'm trying to remember, I think in the Kickboxer movie that Al Mosi was in, he, I think, was playing the Kurt Sloan.
Yes.
Was in Kickboxer Vengeance or Revenge, the 2016 one, yeah. Where then, I think it was Van Damme took over the teacher's role.
Yes, that's correct. It was, he did a couple of them. I think it was Kickboxer, Retaliation, and then the other one I think was Kickboxer, the Kickboxer, the Apology, so, something like that. One of those are the ones he was doing.
Kickboxer, the animated series.
Yeah, Kickboxer, we're sorry. Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, Kickboxer, we're sorry.
Yeah, this movie, I mean, it's pretty apt to say that, yeah, this is Mortal Kombat combined with Predator, because the thing looks just like the damn Predator in most respects. And I think, okay, I'm not sure, because this was hard to pay attention to, and the movie was the cause of this, but they said, I thought, every 2,000 years, this portal opens.
No, 6
It's only
years.
6 years. Because...
Well, the comet comes by.
Well,
every
it's
6
hard
years,
because
right?
Nick Cage at one point during the fireside scene says something like, "I've been waiting generations for this." Like, oh,
it's only 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
And like that's not a couple generations, dude.
Now, you think was there a real script for this, or did they just sort of tape together some bar napkins?
I honestly think maybe it was like one of those you start a sentence and then somebody else adds to the sentence and then you add and add and add and add.
Oh, I love doing that.
I mean, yeah, I just
Exquisite Corpse style.
this thing just
Well, it was also like in parts trying to be oh god, what am I thinking? It's just like popped
Dragon
out
Ball
of
Evolution.
my head. No, that one that was supposed to look like a video game from the first person
Hardcore
perspective.
Henry?
Hardcore
Yes,
Henry,
thank you.
yes. They were really inconsistent with using that too, because it seems like they went Hardcore Henry for like a couple shots here and there, and then it was like, wait a minute, what are we doing? So I mean, clearly they didn't have like a real director of photography or something like that. But
No.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they said that
when-
Neil Breen guest directed this or ghost directed, because it's like, hey, we got this new tech. We're gonna use
don't
it,
steal
and
my
we're done with
thunder on that one, because I got a good one coming up with that. So never mind, it'll make more sense later. Carry on.
We'll let you go first.
Yeah, carry on.
Well, during that big first scene where Tony Jaa just shows up and they start that big fight scene, I was thinking like actually my husband and I were saying like, well, what the fuck are they going for here?
Right.
It's like part of it's from first person and part of it is like he's holding the camera and then sometimes it's like he's putting the camera down so you could watch his ass as he fights, and then they jump and I was like, you forgot your camera.
They were doing for a minute there. They were doing the 2002 music video thing.
I guess what I would question you guys about right now is, you mentioned Tony Jaa. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it was going to be like he was going to take over in American cinema like Jackie Chan would have done for martial arts. But why do you think it didn't happen? And then I'll give my retort. But why don't you think Tony Jaa caught on in American cinema?
I kind of think they tried doing a little bit with him like they did with Jet Li, where it's like he did some really good, where he made a lot of really good successful films, but he had more of a box office draw overseas still, so people just made roles to include him just because they felt that having his name there was going to mean it was going to be a successful draw, that they'd make money overseas, the movie would be successful. And I think after like the Ong Bak series he did, that Tony Jaa just kind of fell into that as well, because he did some really good movies. I mean, they really enjoyed watching him. I don't know what happened to him. I don't understand why he just kind of dropped off the way he did, and even being used in this movie the way he was, it just seemed like he was kind of like Nick Cage, I guess, just getting paid. Because a lot of the fights in this movie were very, very over carefully choreographed, I want to say, at points where it's like you just saw what was coming before it happened, and it just seemed like very by the numbers.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
that's
feel
why I
like
kept zoning out during
it's
the action.
Well, it's because I don't know. I could be wrong, but it seems to me that Jackie Chan was also willing to do all those stupid, silly movies with like Owen Wilson.
Shanghai Express or whatever, Shanghai Noon or whatever the hell it was. Yeah.
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 God, I
And the
remember
sequel.
those
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. Those were not good,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what happened with him, honestly. I just think maybe he was just misused, honestly. Because I think he's even in the upcoming Monster Hunter movie that's being pulled now from China for
Oh, God.
reasons.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think some of it with Tony Jaa was he just did not, or was not, for whatever reason, really interested in grasping like English language and stuff like that, to be honest. He really doesn't talk in this movie, and I mean that's a benefit for American viewers because he can't act and he can't speak English, so that's a double whammy in American cinema. You know what I mean? So, so you're.
It's not always a deal breaker.
Yeah, you got to put him into. I'll say this though.
I mean, he was promoting very well with his grunting and breathing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yesterday I watched a movie of his called Skin Trade with Dolph Lundgren, and it was actually very well done. And when I saw this, I was like, man, why doesn't a movie like this break through? And Skin Trade was made, I think, 6 or 7 years ago now. So Dolph is, all Dolph is hanging on to is Rocky or The Expendables or whatever. I mean, his stuff isn't going to the major theaters anymore either, kind of thing. But Skin Trade was really well done. The fight scenes were amazing. You had Michael Jai White that comes in and does his black guy villain thing. And, obviously Dolph Lundgren, Tony Jaa, Peter Weller from frickin' RoboCop is in it for a scene. So Skin Trade, I thought I was impressed with it, but the same thing in that movie was I think the reason why we don't see Tony Jaa all over American cinema. He doesn't really speak English well. You can't give him tons of dialogue. And, how are you going to have him in a leading man role?
Yeah.
It's just a shame we've moved away from dubbing.
Yeah.
Everybody's so highfalutin about that now. I had no problem.
It's kind of
with
even
it.
going back to like the early career of Jean-Claude when he came over and he was, at times he said, even his autobiography, he was living in the backseat of his car, that he really did not have a lot of English. It was very, very broken, and they had to dub his voiceover for a lot of stuff. But I think it was when he did the fight choreography and re-edited some of the scenes for Cyborg that he actually made a big step forward.
Love that
He
movie.
actually started improving, but he also had kind of that presence that Jaa also has. It's just some people, they just want to stick to their roots. They don't really have a will or want to go past that, and that's totally fine on them. But it does kind of hurt your career when that's what they're looking for.
But I also kind of feel like people like Jackie Chan and JCVD also were more endearing to the American audiences. They just seem charming, whereas you don't really see that with Jai Lee.
I would agree with that 100%. Basically,
Yeah.
I think there is a charm to Jean-Claude Van Damme that Tony Jaa just doesn't possess, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's missing it.
Yes, he just wasn't having his legs racked apart by an old man until he's split in half.
That's what he was missing.
That's what I'm missing.
Aren't we all? Oh God, but this movie.
But we got a real star in this movie. We got Alain Moussi,
Right.
from Gabon, the stuntman who was on Being Human and Street Fighter Resurrection.
He's done a lot of shit, as a stunt person.
And Linda, he's your age. You two should hang out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll call him up.
Yeah, get right on that. Yeah.
We'll
Once you
do
tell them the year you were born, you
39-year-old
guys are just gonna. Yeah, that's how it works.
So, paying bills, huh?
Please.
So, what can you tell us about the budget, Adrian?
Oh Lord.
Okay, let me give you the cold hard facts about Jiu Jitsu, the
Because
movie here.
I am wildly
Is
curious.
it 15
Okay,
mil?
so this is a recent movie because
$5.
this came out on
Jawbreaker.
November 20th of this year, and somehow this cost $25 million.
Okay.
Whoa! Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
that-
gonna say that was mostly Tony Jaa and Nicolas Cage.
Possibly. Okay, I've seen things claiming that this is the first quote Hollywood movie to be shot on Cyprus.
I wondered about that. Yeah.
Even though they had to put that in quotes because like Hollywood is kind of charitable for this. So I don't know if it had something to do with that, like if there were production issues there or something like that. But worldwide, though, what this brought in was $47,000.
How?
That's fair.
Oh, it's okay. He can
Okay.
go over it again, Adrian.
It'll all make sense in the end. But I was saying that this movie cost $25 million and made $47,000.
That sounds about right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It checks out.
You did do it.
right. It checks out.
I could tell you they didn't spend most of the budget on the special effects.
Are you going to bash on the fact the woman had spurting blood that looked painted on the back of her leg? Because that looked real.
You didn't dig the computer animated shuriken that totally didn't belong to the same shot as the actors and
God.
somehow never hit anybody, even though
Or
the
the
alien
fact
is a martial arts master.
Well, let me tell you, in Jiu Jitsu, there are no shurikens. That's a ninjutsu weapon. Ninjas use shurikens. In Jiu Jitsu, there is no commas or whip chains or shurikens. That's all ninja stuff.
Yeah.
This is just alien tech,
Well,
we'll say.
Alien shurikens.
Yes. It's not like the Predator. Predator had hunting blades. He has a sword blade. That's a totally different thing.
Let me tell you, going back to I was going to say, in terms of, you've mentioned Predator a few times now, and there's some laughable moments where he looks like he's jumping from a tree and stuff like that. And but in connecting it with Predator, though, there is some. This is one of those downfalls of a low budget film, but really $25 million, you should be able to do a lot of stuff with. I think in certain close-ups and stuff, and there's a lot of close-ups in jiu-jitsu that don't need to be there, but they're there. And I think when they do that with the alien, I think it works. Some of the wider shots of the alien, he's clearly in like a leotard that I expect to be sold on Facebook, telling me my butt will look nice as I walk, as my rippling leotard and stuff will go with me, kind of thing.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong at all, because that was so jarring. Is the far away shots of him, it looks acceptable, but then up close on the alien,
he's got elbow
even
pads.
when it heals itself, it looks very drawn on. I mean, it's almost.
Oh, well, that was the
It's
worst
not even
part.
like
the
Tron
digital
levels
healing effect
going on stuff. It's more just it looks animated, but I just couldn't get over his face because it looked like Harambe.
The
growling.
face,
Goddamn
yeah.
face.
And they just superimposed
Okay, that's the worst part.
It just looked like it didn't fit at all.
Yeah,
But
because he's got this window in his helmet there.
I think for me, the worst part was obviously the ass shots of the alien, and then he had elbow pads on and things like that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the costume. I thought for one of these it was appropriate, but when they added the digital face, they just wrecked the whole thing. It's just like, no, you're it's all.
And it just keeps coming in, and then it's like, you know what? If you're gonna show the face, just keep the face showing instead of like, okay, he's showing his face again. Oh, there it goes. He's showing his face again, and fucking stop that on off.
I wanted him to like emote sometimes. I think.
Yeah. But dude, they added CGI blood.
Yeah, that's a common thing, though. I mean, hell, if Steven Seagal movies are going to do it nowadays, we got to give Nick Cage a pass on the digital blood stuff. I mean, Seagal's been doing it for 25 years now, and it's. I'll say.
It's hard for Goldman.
I'll say this about Cage. I think he still cares. I know he does anything. I get it. But at the same time, he's just not doing junk like Seagal turned into. You know what I mean? There's so many Steven Seagal films out there where he just did not give a shit. His green screen sucks. There's all this kind of stuff that just sucks. His voice is dubbed by clearly people that would sound nothing like him. There's a lot of bad stuff in his movies nowadays. And I'll say this. You mentioned Van Damme before, and I think Van Damme still truly cares about the projects he's doing. I really do. I saw one of his foreign-produced movies called The Bouncer. I watched it a few months ago or so, and it's not masterpiece cinema, but at the same time, I could tell he put his all into it. He put effort into it. He didn't mail in, the action or mail in his performance in any fashion. And I don't think Cage does that either.
Yeah,
There's some
I
integrity
still, no, he does genuinely care, and even with JCVD, I still really feel Amazon should have kept his show, the Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I liked
that
it
was
so
hilarious.
much.
I liked it.
Oh God, I loved it so much.
Yeah, it's like he seemed to be enjoying himself, but it's just you do have some Hollywood actors that you can tell it's not even phoning in. It's just I'm here until the check clears. Let's get this out of the way, and it's just kind of sad.
Well, and apparently, it took about a month, maybe 6 weeks to film this whole thing, but apparently Nicolas Cage was only there for a couple days. And you can tell in a lot of the scenes where he's got his hair over his face, and it's very obviously not him.
What do you think? This is like Samurai Cop, where they had to go back in with the wig and add stuff?
I don't think it's that at all, to be honest. I think it's really easy to double somebody that's in a long coat or, the long hair thing. It was really easy to double Nicolas Cage, I would bet, in a movie like this. He's got, you throw hair in your face, you have a long jacket on, you can hide the physique discrepancies a little bit. I think it would probably be, they probably filmed all the shit, filmed a couple fight close-ups where you can kind of see Cage's face, where he's just sitting on somebody's arm or something like that. And, there you go. I think he was probably there for like a weekend or something like that, More concerning to me would be Tony Jaa's stupid-ass Assassin's Creed costume, which obviously doesn't come from Jiu Jitsu.
Now that you said that, I actually want to see Nick Cage sitting on Jake's shoulder during the movie while he's coaching him on what to do. Just carry him around in a backpack like Yoda.
Didn't you just love our charismatic hero there, Jake, the guy with the amnesia,
Right.
Jason?
Well,
Bourne?
he has no character. His character has no motivation to do anything in the movie.
No, at all.
No.
At all.
In fact, I don't think any of the characters do.
No, they just kind of are there.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, there's a big hole
actually,
there.
going back to the Predator connection, I think it's better to call this Predators because it's just a bunch of people that happen to be there.
I'm going to go back on that Predator theme in a little bit here because I know you mentioned stuff that we could learn from this movie, and I'm not going to be one of those witty dickheads that are like, I didn't learn anything from watching Jiu Jitsu. Hell no, I'm not going to say that. I learned something super awesome from Jiu Jitsu. So when we get to that point, you just let me know.
I think we all learned the secret to Jiu Jitsu is balance. That's about it. Oh my god. I don't want to go back to it, but I kind of have to. They made so many weird choices with their film cameras and just doing like the GoPro view with their actors.
Right, the hardcore Henry.
And you can tell,
yeah.
not even just the hardcore Henry, but it's like the GoPro facing the actor. And it's like we're supposed to be seeing them.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's a lot of green screen stuff going on around them or digital things that haven't been put in yet. But they just aren't reacting. It's like people are being killed beside them, and it's like a video game. They're just kind of like, oh, okay, somebody died. Okay, I'm scared. Let's keep going. And I kind of want to say, though I'm not defending this film because it is horrible in every way, but I think the reason it was shot the way it was and also explains why the moon was larger than the backdrops in the desert is because the guy was trying to make this look like a comic book because he made the comic book for this movie and then filmed the movie. It just, there seems to be a lot of aspects to that.
Dmitry Logothetis there was one of the two writers on the comic book.
And the comic book has almost nothing to fucking do with the movie.
Oh my god, okay, I take that back.
and yet he's trying to force the comic book thing. What with the comic book font on various things, and they have the comic book transitions where they'll put a Photoshop filter over something. You
kind of had me when you said the movie was horrible, and then you lost me. So I'll agree with that part, and we'll go from there.
It wasn't that good.
Can we settle?
Well, in those scenes that look like they were with a GoPro, they would have been way easier to film with a GoPro, but he didn't use them. And according to Logothetis, however you say it, they used Aeroflex cameras that were stripped down and weighed about 16 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they do it back around 2002 when this was really popular for music videos. They'd have a huge harness on the actor and a big old counterbalance behind them, which of course you could not see because the actor was in between. And so, but yeah, this is probably why this has cost $25 million, even though somebody probably could have made the same movie for $25,000.
Yeah, you're saying you don't see every dollar on the screen. that's what
No, not every penny anyway. You know.
Well,
One or two
I
have gotten the cash.
I have seen the Predator's pants on Facebook, the Ripley pants that make your butt look good, where it has that wavy, curvy stuff, and I have seen that, and they're like $14.99 or something. It's not a tight price. I mean, it's reasonable. So it's.
I too
You could be just like the Predator in
So I guess
Jiu-Jitsu.
you're also saying, Len, that the so you're saying then that the army fatigues also were not genuine, even though they said army.
Well, that was the filmmakers clearly hammering it home that they were army or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah. Which
this is set in a military base.
And you know what?
Myanmar.
oh
Yeah,
But
which
it's shot
I think
on
something
sniper.
like
because they said that it was Burma.
yeah, right. He's in Burma at the beginning.
Burma
right.
changed to Myanmar in like 1989. So
Yeah, because that sounds more delicious.
okay.
you know you should be. Yeah.
Because
Well, I would say this also. I would say this if this is in fact a predator that comes down every 6 years. Burma's been a fucking war zone for about 300 years. So if you want to pick a maybe more a better place to go vacation, have a Mai Tai or whatever, and then kill somebody, don't pick Burma, which has been a war zone where people don't even know why they're killing each other anymore over the last. Watch John Rambo. He describes it
That's what
fairly
was
well,
saying.
I
don't
think,
want to
in
be
it.
the guy to correct you, but John Rambo destroyed everything in Burma. That was wrong. He wiped out a nation with a 50 caliber machine gun.
No. Well, I mean, let's be honest. While we're on the Predator kick here too, if Predator stars in Jiu Jitsu just turned into a 3-minute short, and it would go something like Predator kills everyone. The end.
Exactly.
Elaine's getting his ass whipped by the Predator. There's no doubt in my mind. Elaine's getting his ass whipped. Freddie Grillo or whatever his name is getting his ass whipped. Tony Jaw's certainly getting his ass whipped. Predator's in the movie. This movie's done. It's a 3-minute short, and we're all kicking back drinks and laughing about it.
if you took out all the action padding, this would be a 3-minute short. That's about how much plot there was.
Yeah, I mean, this movie did kind of get something wrong when it said that this is an action-packed adventure, and I kind of want my money back on that. Oy.
This was a new rental too. We had to pay like $6.
I'm claiming this on my taxes. This is a business write-off for me.
Yeah.
My $6.99 fucking rental is a business write-off for me.
Yeah, I mean, we did learn something from the interpreter, though. We learned to speak some of the language of the people. We learned Beiwu, we knew, you knew.
Right. I wouldn't really go off of his interpretations unless you want to maybe get beheaded in Burma. So he wasn't exactly he wasn't a really good interpreter.
Yeah, and the lady's all like, "You're all gonna die, especially you." Ha ha.
Right.
To be
LOL.
And that hurt because that he was played by Eddie Steeples, who I fucking love because he's in My Name is Earl. He's in the guest book. He's in a lot of great things, and usually the awesome character. But in this movie, it's like I hate to be that person, but he makes the pun about.
Well, let's hope Steeples
I think
checked it and bounced there.
Yeah, he said something like, "Oh, I think the there was a hole in the temple, or in his temple in his head." But I was like, he makes
a pun that would only work in English.
Yeah,
I was like, that it probably doesn't mean the same.
And apparently he couldn't read the big, colorful John Wick subtitles that kept appearing on the screen every time she spoke.
He did have at least one of the best lines in the movie was, "I was eating canned chili sauce."
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you really did believe that line when you said that. That's good for you.
Right.
came off more natural than that. Who are those Jedi Knights that just took
camping.
out my unit?
God damn it.
Right. I think that's an aspect of the story to kind of expand upon, perhaps, is that some of the posters and advertisements, and it's like, it almost looks like a Star Wars movie. It looks like I know the Predators from space or whatever, but they make it seem like it's this mystical outer space movie kind of thing. And I thought, wow, which direction are they going to market this in? Because as we saw, it made $38,000 at the box office on a $25 million budget. And it's like, when I looked at the artwork and things like that, and I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but it's like, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just sold it as character postcards, basically. And the idea that I had from the film was that all these people were supposed to have been, like Bloodsport, okay? It's like they're all masters of their field is what I was expecting. Like these are all different masters of different forms of karate, all coming together to try and keep this alien from taking over the Earth, which brings in the whole Mortal Kombat aspect of it. But it didn't happen. Even with the colorful blue comet overhead, kind of acting like a timer, I guess.
Drawn on every frame.
Yeah, but they just keep going to different places because it's like
I would say yes.
Fighting the alien. Yeah.
The one thing I would interject here, and I don't want to be the, I don't want to break your heart in this like Santa Claus moment kind of thing. But what I want to say though is you do know that blood sport is not a real martial art, right? There is no blood sport. Blood sport is not Korean, or blood sport is not. There isn't blood sport.
Based on was lying about that.
Well, no, but blood sport is just the title of the movie. It's not a real martial art kind of thing. It might be a real tournament and something, but you can't say, well, I learned the Korean art of blood sport or whatever. No, there is no blood sport. It's just the name of a fucking movie, dude.
If only the alien had been Bolo.
Oh, Bolo's my man.
Kumate.
That would have been great just seeing his alien
Bolo in those Facebook Ripple ass pants. Let me tell you.
He doesn't need those pants.
His pecs don't need those pants.
No, they don't.
What his backpack's filled with, yes.
I would just put him in some short cut-off jean shorts.
I think what I would do is Lamar him. I would Lamar him from Revenge of the Nerds and give him the cut-off half shirt. Maybe a spiffy pair of Affliction jorts or something, and off we go.
I love it. That's
This is all I want now.
If you donate to our Patreon, we will begin production on this movie. Our listeners. Oh my stars. But I didn't get it because, it would have made sense if the alien had to fight all of them, but he doesn't. He's like, no, I'm going to pick you because you're the guy I want. I was like, okay, I guess, so everyone else can go home.
I don't want this guy. I already had him.
But whenever anybody's fighting, they're always being so nice and taking their turns one at a time.
Yeah, well, again, that's...
And we have the little detail that if you cut the alien, it takes him 6 seconds to heal. And everybody's all like, oh, well, I'm not going to press my advantage while he's vulnerable.
Well,
so I'm just going to stand here for 6 seconds and just watch the special effects.
To be fair, the alien did the same for them, where it's like, oh, I beat you, Nick Cage, but here's your sword. I want you to die with honor. It's like, oh, thank you.
That's called...
Kill me.
That's gamesmanship. That even the alien has some gamesmanship there, so...
Yeah. Well, and he did say the alien's not going to kill you outright. It wants to torture you first, I guess.
Well, we don't even know if that's even true. We've never seen anything to support that.
Of the guy. Yeah. So wait, was Nicolas Cage playing the future Jake? Or was he just messing with him saying this?
Okay,
no, he was playing Dennis Hopper's character from Apocalypse Now crossed with Jack
Okay,
Sparrow.
so he was just on cocaine.
Yes.
All right.
No, at first I thought that because they kept having a stand-in for Nicolas Cage, in that first scene, I totally thought that he was him from the future. And then, because it looked like that and nobody was talking to him. And so I thought, like, oh, he's his Tyler Durden. Because nobody's fucking acknowledging his existence. But then he says, like, he was your dad. Like, what?
That's right, your dad makes paper hats out of newspapers.
Oh God, I forgot about the paper hat.
Yeah.
This is going to protect you from the alien. I made you a suit of armor.
We were laughing our asses off because in the flashback when he's sparring with his dad, I said, "Oh my God, he's sparring with Charles Manson." And Carlos said, "No, I thought it was some just random crackhead that he was sparring with."
It's Burma. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, there's nothing to do in Burma but play a harmonica and ride the rails bound for glory.
That's a good movie with David Carradine, actually. But it's
Oh, that movie's awesome. Oh,
the real life story of Mr. Guthrie. Bound for Glory, good movie.
Oh,
yeah. That's a Hal Ashby movie, right there.
That movie, I don't know if you guys know this, but Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
Bound for Glory actually had what's called a cinematographer that won an award for that. Something that Jiu Jitsu doesn't have.
You reminded me of what we've been missing
That's
in all
very
these past 10, 15, 20 movies we've been talking about of his.
Well, you mean you didn't like the way Grand Isle looked, Donnie? You weren't.
I wanted to
Jonesing
drive a
for that?
nail through my head and then take it back out and put it in a new hole, okay? That movie was horrible.
But Grammer went on to do Money Plane, so all is forgiven.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I give you that.
Oh, God.
But
Life finds a
Yeah, we want to talk about Nicolas Cage over the last 20 years. What the F happened to Thomas Jane's career?
no shit.
Oh, yeah,
my
he
God,
tried to
yes.
direct that kind of Sin City-ish movie, and then the studio buried it, and they were like, we're all done with Thomas Jane now.
Right.
He had nothing left for them. They took him, drained him, and tossed him out.
Thomas Jane, Nick Cage's Eskimo brother.
Oh, God, yes. You're right.
Money Plane.
Money Plane, everybody.
I mean, I laughed,
Kind of
and I
wish we watched Money Plane.
was kind of prepared for this movie to
On Hulu.
but I honestly thought when that Acme Fuel logo came across at the beginning of the film, I thought that was
Yes.
the alien ship in the I thought it actually was starting.
I was waiting.
Oh, that's just a
it-
logo.
And then the movie began. I'm like, wow, that's horrible.
I was really waiting near the end of the movie where he drop kicks him into the Stargate time portal, where it was going to be some dipshit Russell-like character, somebody's dad from long ago, even though it's only 6 years he comes down. But anyway, somebody's grandpa grabs him from behind and pulls him into the time portal. Something really stupid like that.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah,
happen.
you get a grizzled Korean war vet type or something. I'm still here, you bastard.
Right. We didn't backpack around Europe in my day, Sonny. We bombed the shit out of it. So, one of those dudes.
He's got plenty of napalm
And
and
just-
Fargate.
Right. And then he just grabs a fistful of those $14.99 Facebook trousers and gives him the biggest wedgie ever, man.
Right over his head.
I would. Oh, I'd be totally fucking with that alien, dude. I would be fucking with him all day, dude.
Just straight up goon
the
hockey
alien was
fighting,
just
pulling
upset.
his jersey over his head, punch him in the gut and run.
You guys, he's just misunderstood. He lashes out because he keeps fogging up his face mask. Like,
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh God, I have to share my husband Carlos's comment because when toward the end when they're fighting Brax and Jake, and Jake kind of he's like Brax is kind of choking him out, and he comes back to. Carlo yelled out, he's got Hulkamania.
If he started shaking, I would have believed it.
Yeah, like he just had to point that one finger in the air,
Oh.
Like fuck, that was such a Hulkamania moment. But like, god damn.
I do have to say, besides goddamn this movie, and I support that, this was the easiest film of Nick Cage's we've done where I did not have to hunt to find horrible reviews for this movie. It is overwhelmingly
I'll bet.
Yeah.
bad reviews, and I'm thankful.
I saw things somewhere claiming that this was his lowest rated movie, but I didn't know in what forum that was. In
I
regard
would
to.
not trust Amazon, as Amazon has this at 2.5 stars, and I think that's being too gracious, but I mean, who am I to say? But let's see. One of my favorite reviews, because it's written by a husband and wife team here, is... I went into this with little hope. I was just hoping to kill 2 hours with my wife and hopefully be entertained a little. Well, I killed 2 hours.
Well, that's a terrible way to talk about sex with your wife.
Like, there was no enjoyment. At one point, my wife said, I hope the alien kills the whole planet and we find out the movie is actually happening right now.
Well, I kind of mentioned that because I said if the Predator really starred in the movie, there's that woman's movie right there.
Yeah, the Predator would have killed the alien and all the actors, period. It's like, well, time to go home.
Yeah, we just see him hanging up with their skin off. Yeah, that'd be it. Credit.
Yeah, and we'd be like, yay!
They were skinned alive.
Oh, it's like, but okay. It's like, if they wouldn't put slow motion and every time a good guy made contact, the fight scenes could have been good. But I don't need to see every attack slowed down. But I understand why they did it. If they hadn't, the movie would have only been 45 minutes long. I rented this movie and I wish I hadn't. Now please excuse me while I go watch Fat Man, which I'm hoping is better.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, Jiu Jitsu might have been better. Sorry, Chappie there, but...
Mel Gibson is kind of at a low right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean National Treasure Mel Gibson?
And there was
What's that?
Fat Man, I bet the filmmakers thought they were doing something really clever with Santa and everything in that movie. And I thought, you want to see fucking clever? Watch Elves, motherfuckers. You want to see something clever with Santa? Watch fucking Elves from 1990 with Dan effing Haggerty. Watch that. You want to see a clever Santa movie? Because let me tell you, it's not Fat Man. There's nothing clever about it.
Yeah, it's hard to beat incest, rape, elves made by Nazis.
Right, made by Nazis, right.
Don't forget.
And Dan Haggerty, you know.
He's almost his own genre.
He's having a good old time in that movie because Haggerty's wasted throughout that entire performance.
Yeah, he just watched the rough cut of Repo Jake, and he wasn't quite over it. Yeah.
Oh God.
Wasn't Mel Gibson made by Nazis too?
Didn't you see Attack Force Z? No, he fights Nazis.
So
he'll always just be Riggs to me. So he'll be Mad Max. He'll be Riggs. I mean, how many actors out there? There's only probably a handful that can say they played two iconic characters. I mean, let's be honest here, because this is very a parallel to Cage. I think that we can tie into here is Keanu Reeves is a terrible actor. There's no doubt about it. I think he's a wonderful human being, but he is not a good actor. But The Matrix is so good. Who else could play Neo? Nobody. Nobody else could be Neo.
Exactly.
And now you fast forward 20 years and he's John Wick, and who else could play John Wick? Nobody. Terrible actor that's landed these two prime roles that no one else could play but him. I think that's superb.
yeah, and I mean,
well, there's a new movie coming out that looks like Bob Odenkirk is
John Wick.
is the new John Wick.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're aware of this, Lynn. It's kind of a fun thing. Apparently, for a while, I don't know that it's still going on, there was a company doing a live-action screening and play of Point Break, where they would cast all these people to play the parts, but they would grab a random person from the audience to play Keanu Reeves' part.
Just to show that anyone could have done better than he did.
That's awesome. I wish that off-Broadway thing would have came my way, because I would have auditioned for the Swayze role in a minute.
Oh, absolutely.
Bodie
all the way.
I would rather do a play of Swayze's movie Steel Dawn, but that's just me.
Oh, God.
Dude, Steel Dawn, that's my shit.
I love Steel Dawn so much it hurts my heart, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't apologize for that. Steel Dawn all the way. From the director of Missing in Action
Lance
2,
Hool.
the beginning.
There is
Glance at
two
it.
last reviews here, and one seems to be somebody that knows a bit about martial arts. This movie missed on every level. Tony Jaa and Maurice Crump had the only decent moments. Funny how the movie called Jiu Jitsu only has scenes of Muay Thai and Kopera in their karate. Please avoid this movie at all cost. And the shortest, simplest review of this film that I enjoyed was script written by an 8-year-old. Filming done by a high schooler. Jake from State Farm was chill. Nick Cage needs to pay his bills. Please buy and watch this.
I kept calling him Jake from State Farm too.
It works.
Well, although I think the actor from the State Farm commercials probably would have done a better job at acting. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a thing called emotion.
Yeah, I like him.
And they need to show this.
So, if we were going to change the story at all, what would you do?
Yes.
Oh my lord.
Who wants to start that one off?
Oh, should we get into sequel Return More Harder?
Oh my.
Well, we could do them out of order.
Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do.
You want to face up?
Oh no,
face it
we're
off
gonna
first?
sequel Return More Harder this.
Okay. All right, Donnie. I bet you got
I
one.
do. This would have been a sequel, and here we go. The year is 2250. Earth has been invaded by alien species. Martial arts as we know it has become a thing of legend, forbidden in all of its forms. Mankind enslaved, forced to work in tunnels, mining Earth of its precious mineral resources. But the time has come for humanity to fight back. A rogue band of hope-filled teens begin a project, constructing a time travel vortex that will allow them to gather the lost legends of martial arts, giving humanity its last roundhouse of hope for freedom. For the first time on screen, we would have Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Cynthia Rothrock, Ernie Reyes Jr.
Oh boy, is he still alive?
And Bolo Young. Like, Canon Films and MGM presents Solar Babies 2 Jiu Jitsu Boogaloo.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm already here for it.
Adrian, please enlighten us.
All right, I went a slightly different direction, sort of taking the cue from the ending. So mine is Alexander Dumas presents 6 years after Jiu Jitsu Saga Part 2, in which Jake Barnes must travel to France, although this is shot in Australia, to take on dimension-hopping aliens who come every 6 years to do battle with the most skilled mimes, the art form that they created when they came in ancient times. With the help of a psychic cat lady and an overcaffeinated conspiracy nut played by Clint Howard, Jake must learn a new deadly art to save Earth from destruction.
Okay.
Okay. What do you have, Len?
I didn't write a snappy little synopsis about what I would do, but I've heard most of what you guys are saying, but you've been cutting in and out of me, so it's like, I feel like my head's on fire, but I'm good, kind of thing. But I think what I would say is what I would do is I would take jiu-jitsu in a new direction and kind of go off of like Hammett's Red Harvest or like Seven Samurai or a ton of like Roger Corman pictures back in the day like Dune Warriors. And what I would do is I'm rounding up a team together because this guy is coming next year or, whatever, every 6 years. So, and then it would be that MacGruber moment where you're going and recruiting all of these awesome ass people to take on this alien in a showdown. But I would have it my tone of the picture wouldn't be this goofy wiener-ass movie. It would be something where it would be very solemn in tone, much like John Carpenter's The Thing. I would make it very straight, very solemn, very, very downtrodden and stuff about this. Like this alien has wiped out all these people every single time he comes, but this time around we're getting a team together, and then they go to this location, whether it's a desolate desert town somewhere or whatever. So I'm really thinking Seven Samurai, Dune Warriors mixed with a downtrodden feel of like The Thing or something like that. And the alien needs some work, so I'm not going to get too much into that with his pants and shit like that. But that element needs some work. I didn't hate his mask as much as you guys did. I mean, it was dumb, but I thought his pants and elbow pads were really stupid. So we're going to ditch the elbow pads and do that. We're going to get rid of the whole time portal gimmick, and he's going to come down in a space pod just like you'd see in fucking Spaceballs. He's going to come down in something like that. There is no stupid Stargate portal that he's going to jump in and out of, or he's not beaming up for anywhere. He's going to do what the good old-fashioned aliens did, and that's crash down to MF and Earth in a space pod, and then all hell's going to break loose. So that's my theory. We can just call it Jiu Jitsu 2 Red Sun Rising or something like that, and that's what I'm going to go with.
I'm down for that.
Well, the Stargate was one of the worst effects anyway, so.
See, I was thinking Three Amigos too.
I guess I forgot something. I forgot who I would cast in the movie. He kind of stole my thunder with the Rothrocks and all that kind of gimmick and stuff like that. So all I'm going to say is this. I want the leader that assembles the team together, much like a MacGruber kind of thing, except played real downtrodden and serious. I'm going to go with Richard Simmons. I want him to be the guy that rounds the team together and stuff like that. And then it can be professional wrestlers and MMA people and stuff like that. Maybe throw in some cool 90s people like a Billy Blanks or Ron Marchini from Karate Cop, who cannot act, but I mean he's the real deal. So Lauren Avedon, throw in all those guys, but the guy that's putting my team together is none other than Richard Simmons.
Yes,
I'm there for it.
I will follow him.
Where was he gonna go?
My version just it's basically the same thing, except it's a dance off instead. Wow. And it's
well, I had
led
mine,
by,
so doors open,
and it's all led by David Lee Roth. Because why not?
Might as well jump.
Take place in Panama.
Words of David Lee Roth.
Taking place in Panama is a lot better than taking place in Burma, let me tell you.
Yes, quote unquote.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you could shoot anywhere and just have it be anywhere, right? They're in Santa Barbara, like, wow, sure is dangerous here in Burma. It's like, oh, yeah, no, it's awful. And, man, they got to sail over there at Penny's. This is awesome.
Our version's going to have a Burger King sign in the back.
Come in the background. That'll do for you. It's safe.
But as far as a face-off, Adrian?
All right, so my recasting here, for that one lady, I have Layla Harvest Roberts.
Lady, yes.
For the other lady, I have Roxanne Hart. For the translator dude, I've got Charlie Robinson. For Wiley, Cage's character, I've got Sean Connery.
Naturally.
For the alien, I've got Clancy Brown.
Oh God!
I'll take famous titties for 400, Alex.
I'll take the rapist.
The rapist. The penis.
I'll take bumhole covers for 200, Alex.
I don't mind telling you. Oh. And to top it all off, for Jake Jiu Jitsu Barnes, of course, I've got Christopher Lambert.
Oh,
this
great
is the
dude.
Russell Mulcahy version, because I kept giving Beowulf vibes the whole time I was watching this.
The Hunted's a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! With the bullet train scene.
Oh, you want to talk about something when these people today talk about shooting video game movies. That wasn't a video game, but that scene is like a video game. That train scene, it's just awesome. Ninjas versus samurai. Christopher Lambert, awesome movie.
That was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll watch anything with Lambert.
He's a
I like him.
But I'm sorry, it's not to be disrespectful. It's just with Sean Connery dead, I'm like, are you just gonna like wheel him out? This is gonna be a Weekend at Bernie's type thing.
Hey man, it's a face. Most of my face-offs are set like around the time I was born. So
Weekend at Wiley's.
Yeah.
What's your wager, Sean? Write a number, any number, and you wrote Threve, and you wagered Texas with a $sign.
The letter to my friend.
So for my face off, I kind of went the same route you did, Adrian. This is an
okay.
80s thing. So we've got Kurt Russell as Jake. We have Kim Cattrall as Carmen.
God,
I
yes.
get the Stargate references there, yeah.
Yeah. And Forbes, we have Fred Williams. For Brax, we're going to put in
Yes.
James Hong. And for Wiley, we're going to put in Leo Fong. Then we'll have this completed.
I'm here for it.
You better be here for Leo Fong. Guy's awesome.
Oh, yeah, he's my man. I've worked with him.
Himself.
You did, yes.
You did.
Yes!
We watched your movie that he was in.
The
That
Challenge
was
of the
awesome.
Five Gauntlets, yes.
Gauntlets.
Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was fucking
that was
great.
fucking great.
Good dude.
And I was gonna say with the girl who plays the little girl
That's my daughter.
In that movie?
Don't say anything bad. It's my daughter. So.
No, I was gonna say like we got to keep our eye on her because she is fucking talented. I was thinking like it's hard to find a kid who can actually
That's very
act.
true.
Yeah,
yeah, she was great in that.
That's my daughter Ariel. Yeah, yeah. I could have. I think I could have called it a day after Challenge of Five Gauntlets. I think I really could have. I think it was God giving me my moment there with my daughter and everything else, and it was a good. I'm not saying I'm going to do PG style movies and stuff, but Gauntlets, that's the story and stuff. It didn't, so if that was the last thing I would have done, which obviously it wasn't because I went on to do Hellcat's Revenge 2 and stuff, and I've got some other things coming down the road here.
Yeah.
But if it would have ended there, I would have been okay with it.
Honestly, yeah, I gotta say, after watching a lot of your movies and then revisiting a lot of them, since they're all free on Amazon now, I mean, you've really come a long way. And when I saw last night, in fact,
God, yeah.
the Challenge of Five Gauntlets, like that was really, really freaking awesome. I mean, it was just everything about it. I loved it because it held your attention. It was a great movie. There was a lot of really nice scenes in that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
the
way I tried to,
sorry.
the reason you mentioned it held your attention and stuff, but I did something that Jiu Jitsu didn't do, and that's create character motivation for people.
You did.
And in Jiu Jitsu, you don't have any of that.
That's why. True. It's a notable difference.
And you have to understand
You actually
that we
care
watch
about the
these
people.
Nick Cage movies every freaking week, and it's a ray of sunshine to see a story, an actual like story without parentheses or quotes that you actually care.
Yeah, I think the last one of his direct-to-video stuff that I really, really enjoyed, legitly, that I thought was really good, was the one where I believe Guy Pearce was the bad guy. I think it was Seeking Justice, it was called. I thought that one was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I thought that one was good.
Roger Donaldson. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that I missed out on?
No, you were there. Remember at the end they're in the mall?
Yeah,
They're in the mall,
yeah.
Yeah, the escalator.
Oh,
It's the one. Yeah, where the wife
yes,
went to the
okay.
shooting range after the break-in and all that, and yeah.
With January
Yeah.
Jones. It's the silence your cell phone movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where everyone that was being killed was a
Okay.
molester of some kind, and that was his motivation to kill everyone.
Yeah.
I remember that. Why do I remember
That
this?
was it.
Linda, your face off, please.
For my face off, I have to admit I went with some very obvious choices. Although I originally had JCVD as Wiley, but then I was just like, okay, Linda, pull it back. Don't be so obvious. So we got to jump in the Cage's Kiss time machine Toyota Corolla.
Obviously.
And for this one, because I've got a lot of people who are no longer with us. As Jake, I have the most obvious choice, Miss B. Arthur. And as the as Carmen, the chick with the blonde hair, I have Asa Akira. But then you're gonna have to show her titties, and she is probably gonna be totally okay with fighting nude.
Yeah.
So Asa Akira. And then as Wiley / Cage's character, I have Rudy Ray Moore. And naturally. And as the alien, also the obvious choice, I have Rip Taylor.
Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna get you.
I mean,
And normally I'm the one pitching the Albert Pyun movies, and here's Linda. It's like, oh yeah, Asa Akira's gonna fight, and her boobs are gonna be out. It's gonna be
yeah.
great.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really cool.
Somewhere Roger Corman's ear
Complaints?
just twitched and he started writing. Oh.
Roger Corbin, get at me. I have
Make
ideas.
that man smile when the world smiles with you.
Indeed. Did Len have a face-off, or did we already...
Of course I do. I'm with the format. I got to face off together here. So, in my lead role, I don't know what the hell his name is, and I didn't care. The Elaine Mousasi role or whatever. I'm gonna put in Ted Pryor from Deadly Game. You know the film I'm talking about there, the Deadliest Game, whatever the hell it was called in the 80s there. I'm going to put in Ted Pryor. The movie's got to be directed by his brother. I know he's dead, but we're going to suspend that time portal and pretend like we can bring David A. back so it can be directed by David A. Pryor. Ted Pryor will be the Elaine Mousasi character. The Wiley, the Nick Cage role, I'm going to give to Neil Breen. I think he's perfect for it. I think Neil Breen is perfect for that role. It has everything that you want out of a Neil Breen character. He's crazy, yet he's got this kind of conspiracist angle kind of slant to him a little bit there. I think Neil Breen would work out well. You can't kill him because he doesn't really die, so we're going to adjust that a little bit. But Neil Breen is the Cage character. For the one woman that had the blonde hair that was in it frequently there fighting people, I'm going to give that to Asia Argento just because I think she's hot. So we'll say Asia Argento there is that one. And as Tony Jaa, we're going to give the boot to, and we're going to go back to when movies were really good in the 80s. And I'm going to give it to Stephen Lee, who played the bad guy in Karate Kid 2, where he has the little drums at the end and stuff like that, because he can fight. He's intimidating. He's a good actor. So we're going to give Tony Jaa the boot in favor of Stephen Lee there. So that's my face-off.
And see, Asia Argento, much like Asa Akira, wouldn't mind showing her boobs.
Yes, this is true. Well, like Lloyd Kaufman said, when you star women that you're going to have naked, you got to get them naked first.
If we did your version too, we could have a Peter Cetera theme song. I think it sounds very complete to me.
I'm not super opposed to that, but I'm kind of a metal kid, so I'd rather get something like off of Rocktober Blood or something. I want Sorcerer or something like that. I want Lion or some awesome ass metal band to come in. Give me the Bullet Boys or whatever. I don't care. I want some cool ass metal. I want metal, man.
Metal, so yeah.
I want Wasp. My first concert as a 13-year-old was Wasp. So let me tell you, that's an experience. And so I want Wasp. I want Accept. I want Metal Church. That's the kind of shit my soundtrack's going forward.
Yeah, man. Okay, all right. I'm
100%.
You're really bringing me back, because I'm remembering things like Dream Warriors, the music video, when that came out and premiered on freaking
that's talking. Who were those guys?
You can't beat Freddy hugging a little doll. It's just adorable.
Yeah, saying, who were those guys? Well, it tells you right there, Freddy. It's talking.
Yeah, it's
George Lynch busting through the wall like RoboCop with his guitar in the one scene.
Yeah.
For a while, for my face-off, I was thinking about putting Dave Mustaine in.
Well,
because
thankfully he's still alive.
Is a good world ambassador to the World Taekwondo Federation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Strokes beard. Oh.
I could see that. Oh, so do we have any wisdom? Is there any wisdom you can get from this movie? Have we learned anything?
Yeah, just because you have amnesia doesn't mean you have to act stupid at every turn. Food for thought.
That you should write fortune cookies.
Right.
Yeah, I think I found my calling.
Linda.
I would say if your friends die all around you and you might die and the whole world might die, just drink the hardest shit you can find.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't know what it is.
Night Train
Out the bottle.
Yeah. Len, what would you impart us as your wisdom from this movie, or what you learned?
Well, I think the biggest thing I learned from it was that all the best Predator ripoffs were made 30 years ago. And I'm going to go through a little list here. I would say number 3 on my good Predator ripoffs that were made 30 years ago. I'm going to go with High Desert Kill that starred the late Chuck Connors and also stars Beastmaster himself, Mark Singer. Pretty cool guy, nice guy in real life. High Desert Kill, they got the Predator Vision thing going on and stuff like that. It was filmed in '89. It played on USA Up All Night several times. So if you want to look for a Predator ripoff that's good, my number 3 pick, High Desert Kill. That takes me to number 2. I'm going to go with Robo War, starring none other than my man, Red Brown, Mr. Captain America, Mr. Space Mutiny, Mr. Cage with Lou Ferrigno. That's a good movie. My number 2 great Predator ripoff is Robo War, starring Red Brown. I don't want to spoil anything. Watch it. You're welcome. When we go to number 1, I guess, in my all-time favorite Predator ripoffs, I'm going with the 1994 film Watchers 3, starring Wings Hauser, which is a blatant Predator ripoff, and they put the dog element, the golden retriever element in and stuff like that, but it's clearly meant to be Predator. You got Wings Hauser, fresh coming off of better made films like Siege of Firebase Gloria and stuff, but he's not going to turn down a paycheck either, and sure enough, he's in Watchers 3, which is my number 1 pick of the number 1 thing I learned. Predator ripoffs were better 30 years ago.
They are, and
would you count Alienator as a Predator ripoff?
Oh god, Alienator, yeah.
Oh, I love Alienator. I own that shit. I love Alienator. If Alienator stars in Jiu Jitsu, Jiu Jitsu is a 3-minute movie, and it goes something like Alienator kills everyone.
I don't care. I would throw out for honorable mention Split Second because
Roger
Roger
Howard
Howard doing nothing but eating donuts,
Yes.
Chocolate.
fighting an alien, and downing coffee and beer constantly it's adorable. It's worth seeing.
And I just love the Howard.
Yeah, you gotta love the man.
Blind Fury.
But oh god, wisdom. Never, like Len said, do not go to Burma. It's just
It's the best thing you can learn.
and walk away from this movie.
If you're going to come down
Burma.
to Earth every 6 years, don't come down to Burma. It hasn't changed in 200. if you're going to make it, guess what? It hasn't changed, buddy. Surprise, Burma's still the same war zone it was 6 years ago. Pick some, you know what, dude, go to Alaska. Go to Alaska. There's trees he can jump around on. He can do that gimmick there. He can do the Predator gimmick and all that. Go to Alaska.
Yeah, actually, it would have been really funny if they did get all these warriors together in Burma and they're all killed the moment they enter Burma. And then the alien appears like, where is everyone?
Right. Cue the John Travolta gif from Pulp Fiction where he has his arms up looking around and stuff. Yep.
I thought stuff would have changed over the last 6 years. Like, I thought maybe it'd be really built up around here, like there'd be a Starbucks on every corner. But no, it's just exactly the same. I just don't get it.
At least it wasn't Battlefield Earth. We can give it that much.
Well, let me tell you, McDonald's doesn't touch Burma, so that should tell you something right there.
They're pretty persistent, too. That's a good point.
If McDonald's and
But
Disney
what we're
won't
bringing
touch
up-
it,
Disney.
you want Burma? We'll put it on a set for you.
Funny stuff.
Oh,
Well, I think we're at a good point now that we usually would start going into our plugs, but I believe Adrian has a gift for you, Len,
Oh, no.
from all of us.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to hear it, but if so, I'm ready.
Oh, you will be able to see it,
I
I
believe.
believe.
Okay.
Oh, shall I drop
Yes,
that in
please
again?
do. Drop it in our chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
alrighty. We're gonna go to the.
Adrian,
I'm gonna try to use modern technology
yes,
here.
he used the most modern technology free money can get you.
Should I turn on my video?
That's my favorite kind. No, it'll be in the chat there. The second it consents the download since it's 29.7 megabytes.
Woof.
For the listeners out there, Adrian is sending over our fans-only pictures. Only fans.
For only $15 a month, you too can become an OnlyFan.
That should be available.
Oy. But yes, Adrian is our resident artist. He does all of our art for each of our episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You can also check out his art on his DeviantArt page as well as our webpage. And he decided to make a little something to remember this movie as well as this episode.
I'm trying to cruise on over to it, but I don't want to hang up on you guys, so I will see it momentarily.
absolutely.
Alrighty.
And if we have the time, I actually had a couple questions.
Sure.
for
No,
Len,
absolutely.
if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I saw that you had the Indiegogo campaign for
Yes.
Pact of Vengeance, but it had to be delayed.
Yes.
Because of COVID?
Yes.
Of course, you guys, it has fucking John Micklethor in
Yes.
it.
All that, yeah.
Yes.
And Leo Fong
Oh my
again.
God.
So I'm just curious if you had any idea of when that's going to be.
Yes, what we're going to probably do is relaunch that. What we're going to do is probably relaunch the Indiegogo campaign in probably February here, mid-February or so. Usually those campaigns are like 60 days or 90 days or something like that. So and it's going to start back up. A lot of the perks and things would be the same. We're going to do like a shot glass set that has Samurai Cop on it, Leo Fong on it, myself on it, and John Micklethor on it. We'll do those kinds of things. We'll do the posters and all that kind of stuff. So that'll get rolling again. And if not, I've got a backup movie, but of course, I really want to be able to do Pact of Vengeance. This is just one that I can't do off of my normal budgets. We'll see if I make it. I'm optimistic. I think COVID, with stuff, vaccine coming out and all this stuff, I think some things won't be normal, but I think we're crawling towards some normalcy, I think. So, the Indiegogo for Pact of Vengeance will launch again in February, and we'll see what happens. If things go right, the movie will film in the summertime.
Awesome.
And listeners, we'll be posting updates on that too, to let you guys know. God, because I saw it and I was like, I need this in my life. Like, I need it now.
The story, a lot of the location scouting and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff I've already done. So there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of, we're just sitting and waiting kind of thing. So that's kind of where it's at. Script is done. I'm still just tweaking little things here and there. But I think if people really wanting 80s style Death Wish 3 or beat up the neighborhood kind of thing, they're going to like Pact of Vengeance.
Very cool.
Yes. And then I have one question that maybe I should be asking like a state or government official, but it's must all forest rangers be familiar with martial arts? And if not, why the hell not?
I think they probably should, because there's a confidence thing that'll come with that too. And I mean, no matter where you're a forest ranger at or a park ranger or whatever, you're going to have drunk people. I mean, at these parks and things like that. I mean, the grizzlies are the least to worry about. You really have to worry about Uncle Eddie, having his Pabst, go to the limit there kind of thing. So it's always a good. You know what they might consider learning is Jiu Jitsu.
This would help. And it helps against zombies
God, we're
and
full
werewolves.
circle.
This is true.
But speak from experience.
You guys,
Yes.
I just changed my my sequel idea to I want to see Jiu Jitsu against bears now.
Well, there is a Sonny Chiba movie called Karate Bear Fighter.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
It is real. I have
And
seen it.
if it helps Len to get an idea of what Adrian had sent you without having to switch over on Skype, I sent it over on your Instagram in a message.
I can definitely.
But yeah.
I have cruised over to that real quick.
Them Instagram.
Yes, those grams of instant. Yes.
Yes, it's a very swamp zombies. It looks like they're in a swamp, correct?
Yes, it would be you fighting our Nicolas Cage from Jiu Jitsu.
Well, I think the colors are spectacular. I will save that and put that up. Cage is off of a bender there.
That says a lot about his movies. Don't worry.
That's how I imagine him through the whole shoot.
Oh Lord. Well, yes, Linda.
I had one more question.
Sure. No, go ahead.
So as podcasters and like creators ourselves, I feel like I like asking other creators, how do you deal with non-helpful criticism? Just like the assholes that are like, oh, 1 star, it was shit.
For me personally, it's
we get that a lot, too.
I've been in performing arts like stage theater and stuff like that long before I did movies and things like that. So if you can't take criticism and you're in a performing arts, you probably shouldn't do performing arts then, to be honest, because do I want people to like everything? Sure, of course I do. I want them to be entertained by what I do, but at the same time, I get it. It's not for everybody. I don't want to sit through Swamp Zombies 1 again. I don't expect tons of people would want to do that either. But I think through the years, if you show as an artist you want to improve and get better at certain things, and I'm not just talking my movies, which I think they've gotten better. I'm not the best judge of that. The fans and viewers are, but I think we've shown improvement on a lot of different levels through the years now. I've been doing this for 16, 17 years. It's the same thing with my, the Fist of the Filmmaker podcast I do, or the Forgotten Movie Den episodes that I do as part of my Patreon. If you go back to the early ones, some of the sound isn't great and stuff like that. So, I get it. But one of the things that doesn't help me is, Len, there's static in your mic, or Len, your sound sucks. Okay, I get it. I get that. I'm working on it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that kind of criticism is the only stuff that sucks. If you give me something like, Len, don't shoot a Dutch angle 85,000 times. Okay, take that into consideration next time I do something. But, to just say something sucks, or, you know how many times I've heard, not just with my movies, but just other, because I watch a ton of B-movie shit. That's just what I watch. You're not going to catch me watching the Piano very often. You're going to catch me watching Alienator or Dune Warriors or King of the Kickboxers or Great White or something. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to be watching. So yeah, it's just show improvement or show that desire to improve. It's really about keeping an open mind, because that's how you're going to learn and get better. I go out to Red Letter Media and I got tons of, the one thing I think I was surprised about going out there years ago now was that the number of people who already knew who I was. Not that the exposure out there wasn't great, but there was people already that had seen Curse of the Wolf and Fist of the Vampire and Swamp Zombies and things like that. So that kind of took me back a little bit. I mean, I'm self-aware, but at the same time, I don't think I'm some star or some kind of, I work a day job kind of thing. I've worked as a therapist for 15 years. You know what I mean? I'm very self-aware of those kinds of things and what I do. But at the same time, too, when you make these movies, they're hard. I've known filmmakers that still say they're filmmakers and they're one-offs where they can't do anything else because it's fucking hard to make movies, kind of thing. So with criticism, I just try to take, I think I'm good about shucking away some of the stuff that really is just there to hurt your feelings, kind of thing, whether, your movie sucks. Okay, great. That doesn't help me. Len, your audio here dips out in this part, and I just wondered what, those kind of things I can respect and kind of look at and say, hey, and I think I did that with my own podcast and thing. I think the audio's improved throughout the last several months here. The camera, I've got a different camera, all that kind of stuff. And none of that stuff happens by accident. It becomes, you research, what kind of camera is going to be susceptible to a good boom mic or something like that. 'Cause I don't want to wear those lapel things. I get it, but I'd rather boom mic everything. I'm very old school when it comes to that stuff. So I got to break into my get off my lawn, attitude about that stuff. But just staying open and stuff and being aware about things, and you'll know the criticism that you can really take and make a better product from. It's the people that are going to say you suck or you're the worst thing out there and everything you do is stupid or whatever. That's not going to really help you. I wouldn't even read it. I would just kind of just file that in the trash bin and on to the next one, kind of thing.
See, I've been a performer myself for a long time, on stage, and now I'm doing voice acting, and that's kind of something that just pisses me off. Is it's great when you get somebody who can tell you, what you ought to do is, or I had a problem with this, something that you can actually build off of, something that would help you improve. But it's so goddamn annoying when you get those people that are just like, it sucks.
Right. Well, okay, I guess.
Thanks.
Right. I guess what I would say to that, though, too, and I guess a piece of advice from Len here is, you know what? Fuck what anybody says about you or says you should do or didn't do or this do. I would say fuck them and be yourself, because really it's not cliche, because the people that like you all along are going to be there for you no matter what your fails or successes are when you go forward. The people that love you for you, and they're not going to care if you fail or succeed. They're just going to be there along the ride with you. So I would say fuck them and just be yourself, and those fans that are there for you, they're going to be there for you no matter what.
God, I fucking love that.
That's one of
I want to put that on a goddamn poster.
One of my favorite things I heard from George Carlin. He was being interviewed by a high schooler, and he told him, I really appreciate that you had the balls to ask me that, because most people are intimidated to ask stars of any stature, no matter what they're doing, to do something like that. And the guy was just really apologizing a lot because his equipment wasn't working well. And George Carlin just told him, look, like, I just want to tell you the best thing that will help you through your life, high school, and anything else, the sooner you learn to stop giving a shit what other people think about you, the happier a human being you're going to be.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like, he's absolutely right. Because if you just worry about all the negative people feed you, it's just, you take it to heart. You're like, well, I guess I suck. Might as well stop. It's like, no, if you enjoy it, screw everyone else, as long as you're happy doing something. Because I've even told people that, like, not that I know a lot of people that trash your movies and other movies in general, but they do. It's one of those, like, yeah, you can say that about a film, but at least be critical in what you're saying, why this movie sucks, why they don't like it. Because at the end of the day, if you're just going to say this sucked, it's like, you didn't do anything. This person's going out there making movies. It's like, even if they're horrible or they're not exactly how they imagined, they're still doing something more than you're doing.
Yeah, like with this, with Jiu Jitsu in particular, it's like, I did not enjoy it, but you know what? They made a better movie than I have. So, you know, like, I haven't made anything, so. But yeah, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Sure.
Well, Linda, you want to give our pluggy plugs? Our pug plugs.
Okay, yeah, I guess it's the time to say, please listen, follow, rate, and review Cage's Kiss on Apple Podcasts and over on Podchaser, especially on Apple Podcasts, because it helps people get to know us, and it helps bump us up right there to the top so people can see us and find us quickly. Please also check out our stuff on YouTube. It has that awesome Adrian Cage art. Oh. And actually, our last video had an amazing little animation for Primal. That was awesome, God. Adrian. Also, check out our Patreon at www.patreon.com/CagesKiss. We have awesome bonus episodes. We have an awesome ringtone. We get stickers, buttons. Sometimes we have game time together.
$20 and I'll punch Adrian in the face.
That's right. We still got that offer.
The offer's still up.
Yes.
Oh.
And I think Carlos wants to take us up on that. Remember, you can find Cage's Kiss on Facebook and on Twitter at Cage's Kiss. You can visit our website at cageskiss.com, and you can write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys. Check out my other podcast about witches in history and stories of all media, Bedknobs and Broomflicks. Also, check me out as Lila in Dispatches of Disassociation and as Patrice and Lieutenant Murphy in Coyote's Bluff. Donnie, what you got going on?
I also did voice work in Coyote's Bluff and for Cinema Recall, as well as Linda, in the Night of the Living Dead audio drama.
Oh, yeah.
I also have Wisdom in the Bottle over on YouTube, where I rant, and again, I'm promising episode 3 is coming out. It's just a lot to edit of a 3-hour rant. I'm also the Boy Who Blew on Pornhub. Again, don't follow me. I beg you. It is not something you want to do. I'm also the Unreal Goals on Twitter and Stilgar the Twi'lek over on Instagram. And other than that, my life is kind of a black abyss of failure. Adrian?
Yay!
I'm Adrian, and I had nothing to do with Coyote's Bluff.
Oh.
However, I'm on YouTube as A.A. Smith, and I am on my Patreon and on DeviantArt as Leo the Fox, all lowercase, all one word, LeoTheFox. I have artworks on there that are not on the Cage's Kiss website or the YouTube videos.
Secret art.
Ominous.
And Lynn, where can the people find you and learn about your charisma?
Yeah, I would say the thing to get across is everything I'm pushing, films, podcasts, the stuff I'm doing is all going through my Patreon at patreon.com/KillerWolfFilms. You get to see all my movies on there. I started doing 2 months ago, where now when you join, I'm having digital downloads that you can keep the films for your own video libraries and things. Skull Forest is available there for digital download. And all this stuff is free once you join, kind of thing. There is no other hidden cost. It's just join Patreon and you get this shit. So Challenge of Five Gauntlets is on there. That just went up last week. So you join, you get see me, Leo Fong beat up people and things like that. So really, Patreon's a really good way to support indie, I feel. do I get royalty checks from places? Sure. But I mean, it's very minuscule. I mean, I'm lucky if I make, whatever, $50 a month or something like that of a royalty stuff. So, Amazon Prime, you're making 4 cents a watch. Amazon took down a lot of my stuff anyways. I think something like Swamp Zombies 2 is still up there. Some are still up there, but they took they took down films of mine like Blood Prism and things like that, which, I think probably deserve to be on there kind of thing. I think there's a lot of good things in that film. But anyways, so I'm pushing everything. If they want to support me, the best way is not go watch me on Amazon Prime. Put it that way. It's join the Patreon for $2, and that's really the best way to support my works. Coming forward into 2021, I'll have some special
joining right now.
I think in February or so of 2021 coming up, I'm going to have a tier where if people do $5, I am doing the Obliterator patches. The Obliterators is the group of Leo Fong, Samurai Cop, John Michael Thorne, myself, when we're going to be in Pact of Vengeance. The Obliterators is our military group in the movie that wipes out the punks in the city kind of thing. So you'll have like an Obliterators patch kind of thing, and then I'll probably do like an 11x17 poster or something like that. So I have little tiny fundraisers that from Patreon, but most of all the signups are like $2 and $3 and things like that. So I just strongly encourage you. Yeah, I have my YouTube channel. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Just type in my name and you'll pull it up. So you'll see all my Forgotten Movie Den episodes and my Fist of the Filmmaker podcast and things like that. So, but Patreon's really the best way anymore. You can really help independent people sock it to Amazon and stuff for not really paying us anything. And a lot of these other distributors too. It's cool to get your film out there, but at the end of the day, if it's not going to help you financially do another picture, that kind of sucks. So, Patreon is a good way to kind of do that because I don't feel I'm done yet. I mentioned, Challenge of 5 Gauntlets. If that was my last film, I can ride off into the sunset with that. But I think using your creative brain is really everything, and I don't think I'm done yet. So check out the Patreon, enjoy. I strongly encourage everybody to hop on board and have fun with the campaign. So thanks for having me tonight. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for coming.
And I gotta say, I think I'm at the $10, $15 level there. I've been a supporter for a while, and it's been really worth it. And I can honestly say, even just messaging you are a very humble, very approachable, very cool guy. And I really like your Forgotten Movies Den. That's really a fun series. People really should take a look at that.
Well, as Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, opinions vary, but thank you very much.
And the final note on Amazon, don't really support it because Neil Breen now has his movies on Amazon. Somebody
man, I'm disappointed because I'm slightly disappointed in that because Neil doesn't know what he's in for. I mean, Neil, you're going to make 3 or 4 cents like a watch. If people watch your 90-minute movie, Amazon gives you like 4 cents or something like that. So, and coming from, I guess I don't think he has financial troubles, but I mean, he was saying where I'm not self-financing anymore and stuff like that. I'm like, well, Neil, you're never going to make another film again. I mean, unless you do like an Indiegogo or something like that. And I'll chip in to see Twisted Pair 2 or whatever. I'm in. I went to the Cleveland Capitol Theater just to go see that.
So too.
Oh yeah, I'm in on Twisted Pair 2. He puts that up. I'm putting I want my 11x17 poster, and I reached out to him to be in Pact of Vengeance, but
no kidding.
He's kind of in his own Color of Outer Space kind of thing himself, and he's a different dude.
You reach out to him and he comes back with, did you know if is the middle word in life? It's like, oh, okay.
Well,
let's be real. We wouldn't want him.
And I think that's true. I think that's true. It's just he really doesn't know how to use Twitter properly, and that makes it funny. So whenever you go there, you can get the comedy of Neil being Neil. Without having to sit through Double Down or something like that. Just go to his Twitter.
Yes.
Tired of this experiment.
So, Linda, oh God. Okay, I know we're wrapping up. I know that, but I don't know if anyone else got any vibes from this from the opening credits of the film where everything was slowed down and kind of animated and fuzzy, but didn't that look like cave dwellers? Just, it's showing you scenes from the movie.
Like Filmways repackaging something. Honestly, I felt it was more like Abelard Tales of an Ancient Empire where you use animation effects to make up for the fact that you got no budget.
There you go. Linda, what is our next movie, please? I guess I want more suffering.
Well, I was just going to remind the listeners that, I just became a patron, and it's so fucking easy, you guys. It's patreon.com/Killer Wolf Films. Check it out. And there's so much shit on here, man.
Yeah, all my movies are on there. But like I said, I'm
This is
starting to do
amazing.
downloads, so you'll be able to download gauntlets and things like that. But all my films are on there somewhere. They're all just back on the wall somewhere. But if you're having trouble finding something, I encourage people just to drop me a quick message, and I'll say, hey, if you go back to the post on December 15th, you'll find this movie or that movie. But Hellcat's Revenge 2, my latest film that was released last Christmas time, that's on there. So that's my latest work. So I encourage you to check out Hellcat's Revenge 2. We shot in an actual prison. I mean, not a functional prison anymore, but it's like a women imprisoned biker action movie. So check it out.
Nice.
Nice. Well, with that, you'll be hearing from us next week for, we haven't decided yet. Either we're going to cover The Croods 2, which you may be able to watch it on Amazon, but it's kind of up in the air. Or we're going to have a special guest. So
What?
Either way, it's going to be real special.
Why do you
listeners.
do this, Linda? Why?
it's not my fault. It's all up in the air. So either it's going to be The Croods, or we could possibly be joined by Kevin Frolics, who is a former writer of UCB sketches and the writer of a musical version of Vampire's Kiss, you guys.
Oh, wow.
He's a warrior poet in the sci-fi sense.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Well, all right then.
And until then, Donnie Shotakin.
It is Christmas, so yeah, let's die hard it up. Hiya.
Yippee-ki-yay,
fucking
Mother
yaw.
Russia.
Oh, get your jits.
Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please. Kiss me.